first season of Smash. And what was that like?
It was a thrill. I'm lucky to say that I'm on the second season as well. For the first episode of this season, I'll come back at the end. And I do. Spoiler alert! Frank's revenge. He comes back and sings louder and longer than anyone else. It was an amazing, miraculous experience. For some of the reasons I mentioned earlier of a network television show shooting in New York City. That aspect, the kind of the different rhythm of shooting a TV show as opposed to 8 shows a week. I had weekends off for the first time in 20 years. I could spend time with my family. Went to a football game. You know, things like that were for my life were really wonderful. But for the show itself, the amazing coincidence of this being cast in this television show that shoots in New York City about Broadway, which is something that I've been aiming for and have been lucky enough to work in for the last 20 years or so, was kind of an amazing confluence of events. So I felt very comfortable, obviously a new subject, and I was actually kind of relieved and happy to play somebody who was on the outskirts of that world, to give us maybe an everyman's point of view into the world of what it takes to put on a Broadway show.
Yeah. And how do you feel about basically your art being mostly removed from the second?
Oh, I felt terrible at the time. There's a very practical concern of not having that job continue, but you're at the mercy of what the people who create the show, how they want the story to develop, and I guess in my case they just felt that they didn't want to focus too much. This is my theory. No one's ever said this explicitly to me, but I think they just didn't want to deal with midlife marital strife when all this music was going on. So clearly in the second season you have these two young hot writers, who are coming up and emerging, and so you've got these kind of younger people who I think they're trying to appeal to a wider range of demographics.
So did you guys, these are two big stars. Did you know that you wanted to